What's up, bookworms? Another drink video coming at you. I've tapped into my spooky side, spooky vibes for the Halloween season, and we're gonna check out cocktails from the crypt. I pulled a recipe from here that will go perfectly with the book I'm going to talk about today. So today's recipe is called The Count. Today you will need Campari, sweet vermouth, red wine, and it calls for like a fruity medium-bodied zinfandel to balance the bitterness of some of the other ingredients here, and an orange peel for garnish. We know I'm not going to have that. You're not going to need a shaker, but you do need a glass with ice to stir, and then a strainer, this guy, to pour into a martini glass. And the book I'm going to be covering today is The Ground That Devours Us by Kalla Harris. It's a YA dystopia novel with vampires and slayers and a slow burn enemies to lovers and with plenty of angst and adventure. And it's a really good one. And the interview with Kalla Harris is out. So if you haven't listened or haven't read the book, you can go ahead and make this drink to pair it with your listening or your reading time. So the recipe calls for 1 ounce of Campari, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, and 2 ounces of red wine. And we know I like to double it up, so I'm going to do just that. I've got 2 ounces of Campari, and then we've got 2 ounces of sweet vermouth. I don't think I've ever had vermouth before, so we'll see. Testing it out with this recipe. And then it says 2 ounces of red wine, so I'm going to do 4. And then mixing glass, combine the ingredients. And what it says, introduce 1 large ice cube to add a chill. I just had the ice in the glass already. And we're going to strain. I'm going to do my best to do this right. That deep red color. Minimal spillage. But like I said, The Ground That Devours Us, it's a YA. It's an easy and really entertaining read, especially for those who like the enemies to lovers, the slow burn. So basically, about 10 years after we enter the story, about 10 years after everything went to hell, and this main character, Ruby, and her twin sister, Ripley, are on the verge of earning their special hunter status, their elite hunter status, slayer status of vampires. But while on a mission, her sister gets turned into a vampire by the notorious vampire named X, and she's worried about her sister's safety. And so she makes a bargain with X that he looks over her while she tries to find a cure. And what X gets in return is that she will help him break into the compound where they're keeping his best friend, where they keep the vampires that they catch. It's a good story, and it's really well written, and it's a debut. So I encourage you guys to go check that out, and also check out the interview that I did with Kalla Harris. And while you're reading or listening, you compare The Count from our podcast buddies over at Nightmare on Film Street podcast. So cheers. That's actually pretty good. I'm not usually a red wine drinker. I'm easing into it. Never had vermouth. I've never had Campari, but it's like maybe a little smoky and bitter. But I think if you have like a sweeter Zinfandel, the Zinfandel I got is actually a cab Zinfandel. So I think with a fruitier Zinfandel, it would actually really kick it up a notch and really balance that taste out. But that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I advise you guys to check it out if you're open-minded. Please check out The Ground That Devours Us by Kalla Harris. Check out the interview I did with Kalla Harris that's out now. And if you want more recipes for your spooky season vibes, check out Cocktails from the Crypt by Kimberly, Elizabeth, and Jonathan Dehan, the hosts of Nightmare on Film Street. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching and for listening. Cheers.